All right, so we're gonna build a pedal board today, but first I wanna show you something. I got this shirt that I was gonna wear during this pedal board from Kernom Ridge. We're gonna put that on the board. I'll show you guys that in just a moment. But I ordered a double XL because, well, I'm a big dude and I'll wear a double XLT if they have it. But let me just tell you, sizes, American sizes, and what, France? Somewhere over, I barely got this on my body. So just hold on 1 second while I put on an American sized double XLT. This fits much better. All right, enough about that. So we are building a pedal board today, and I'm gonna take you through 3 different chapters of this video, I think. The first chapter is, what am I running and why? Pedals and everything, the board, all the fasteners. Number 2, we're gonna assemble the pedal board step by step, so this can be an educational video for you. You can see exactly what I'm doing and why. And then if I have time, the 3rd chapter will be hearing some sounds. If not, I'll save that for another video. You'll just have to subscribe and like this video. You should just go ahead and do that already. It's gonna be a good one. Let's see the pedals. All right, let's just start at what's gonna be the beginning of the chain, and that is with the Jackson Audio Bloom, compressor, EQ, and the Bloom. 3 different stages of like overdrive sound. It's gonna be great. Like I just mentioned, the Kernom Ridge. This thing can make any sound, and it's MIDI on the back, which a lot of these are MIDI. This is MIDI too, TRS MIDI, MIDI in and out right there. I'm hoping to use, which I'll go ahead and show you, my MIDI controller. This is the Pirate MIDI Bridge 6 right here, and I also have the Bridge 4, but I don't have room for the Bridge 4 and this expression pedal. So I'm still trying to decide. Let me know down in the comments in case I haven't made up my mind yet. Which should I go for? Should I add expression or get more MIDI capabilities? I don't think I can put on both the way I think I'm gonna have it laid out. So we'll see. Of course, I'm running everything around and basing it off of the HX Stomp XL. I use this thing all the time because this fits perfectly in my guitar case, but I wanted to put this on a pedal board for a long time because, and instead of using see, here's the thing. I could put a regular HX Stomp here and have room for everything, but I want the HX Stomp XL because it already has all the buttons. The tap tempo is the best on here. Rather than trying to do it via MIDI, I just find that having tap tempo on the device itself and having this send it out to everywhere is probably gonna be what's best for me. I already have the mode switch to toggle everything I need to do with HX Stomp, so I can reserve my MIDI functions for pulling up presets on all these different MIDI pedals. That's why I'm wondering if I need 6 or 4. We'll get to that. The rest of the pedals. My favorite reverb of all time, the Jet Revelation version 2 with MIDI. Their brand new Eternity Delay, also MIDI. Love this thing. And you guys will never believe this. I was going to be running this Jet Pedals Red Sea, which is this wet, dry, wet pedal or stereo parallel effects splitter, which is how I was going to use it. I was gonna run my delay on one side and reverb on the other, so I get these really nice pristine delay repeats and they don't really interact with each other. And then you can just toggle, it has toggles, but you also have this knob. I've done a video on it, you can watch it later. I was gonna be putting this on there and I may trade that out, but I mentioned that I wanted a certain pedal on my pedal board, and a friend of mine, who I won't mention right now, but a friend of mine gave me the money to go buy it for myself. Someone gifted this pedal. This isn't a sponsored thing, this was just a friend, and I'm just super appreciative of this friend. And so what they bought me was the Walrus Audio Mako Series M1 modulation machine. I'm very excited about this. This thing, I've had a little bit of time to play with it, but not a lot. And I'm just really excited to see what that thing can do and put that on my board. And that's gonna go in place of the Red Sea for now. And then we'll see what I can do. Other pedals, the JHS Prestige for just another layer of drive. This has some nostalgia for me. I bought this pedal a long time ago and then I ended up getting rid of it, and I hated that I got rid of it. I love using it because it's just a simple one knob thing. It adds some nice sparkle on the top end and a little beefiness on the low end while keeping your tone really clear, just adding to it. It's like very transparent, but it just adds magic. It's the Prestige. Under the board, I have the brand new Jet Traffic Control right here. This is like a MIDI hub. So I'm gonna be leaving my MIDI controllers, going in 5-pin there, and then I can go out 8 different pedals if I wanted to, out to all my other MIDI pedals. And that's pretty much it as far as effects pedals. Now I do have this other pedal that I'm gonna be putting on this board, but it's top secret and it's not revealed yet, and I can't talk about it until like August. So you guys will just have to wait and see what it is, but it's going to be on this board. And we'll just put that over there for now. As far as power, I'm gonna be using the CIOKS DC7 in conjunction with the DC4 extension to power all these pedals. Let's talk about the pedal board. I got the Rockboard by Warwick pedal board, and there's a couple reasons I got this. This one is the Quad 4.2. It's really big. I'll put dimensions on the screen, but the reason I got this is because no matter how big it is, it's still really lightweight. It's metal. There's the bottom. and it fits everything perfectly. I did a pedal board build on this channel for a customer, and he used a pedal board like this from this company, and I was very impressed because it also has this empty spot right here that leads me to my next thing that I really love, and that's the Rockboard Mod 3 version 2, which is going to give me a bunch of different ins and outs to mess with. Now, as far as cables, I went ahead and thought of everything I would need. I am going to be using the effects loop out of the HX Stomp XL. You need to come out, if you're planning on doing this, you need this cable. You come out TRS on this side to 2TS labeled tip and ring on the other side, and that retains your parallel signal within the HX Stomp. I have a slew of MIDI cables, I have a cable tester, I have these cables here that will go out of the HX Stomp into the XLR of that Warwick Mod 3 over there, and I also have this plug that will go from the power supply to the Warwick thingy over there. As far as patch cables, I bought these, but I'm not going to use those because a company reached out, and we can say they've sponsored this. I told them about my pedal board build, and they wanted to send me 2 sets of these solderless patch cables right here. Then from there we have dual lock. I'm going to be using dual lock, but this time I'm going to be taking advice from the rig doctor. If you watch his channel, Vertex Effects, he suggests 2 different sizes and that they hold better. So I don't know, I've never done that. I've heard him say it several times, and so this is like the 355-0 for the bass and the 355-1 that goes on the pedal. Other than that, I got some zip ties, different size zip ties with their mounts, and yeah, let's build this thing. All right, so the first thing we need to do is to take this out and install the Mod 3 version 2. Well, I thought I had the bit size, but I don't. I can't stand using tools like this. I know I got a bit somewhere, so let's go find it. And there it is. Yeah. So this is the TB3551 that goes on the pedal. I got plenty of room on this board, so I don't have to worry about being like super tight, but I'll show you how much room I'm going to have side to side. These are going to stick here. I do want to be pretty close to the edge, which is fine because I don't have anything coming out the edge of the HX Stomp, so that's good. Here goes nothing. All right, it's on. Boom, HX Stomp is on the board. I know this is next, and it's going up here. This I want to go here, and I want to keep them away from the edge so I have room, but I might need to make sure I have enough room together. And that's what it's going to look like. Something like that. Something about putting dual lock on the back of brand new pedals just makes me feel, ugh. I don't know why. I mean, this is what you do to pedals. That's a solid pedal. I love that pedal. If I haven't said this yet, today's video is sponsored by several people. Kernom sent me this for free. I bought the Bloom myself. Pirate MIDI, I am an affiliate of theirs, but they did not send me these. Actually, a subscriber sent me these years and years ago, and when they first came out. I say years and years, like 2 years ago. How long have they been a company? I don't know. I bought the Prestige myself. The HX Stomp I bought myself. Like I said, friend gave me this, and then Junior over at Jet supplied me with these to sponsor them on my board. So thank you, Junior. You know I love your stuff, and it's always the best. But today's video is also sponsored by my EXPANSE pack. I make presets for all the Line 6 stuff. So whether you have the Podgo, the full Helix, or the HX Stomps, or even the HX Effects, I make this EXPANSE pack. It's ever growing, but you only pay once, and you get free updates for life. So check it out if you want to help support the channel. All right, so let me just explain my signal flow. I'm going to come in here, the Bloom, go straight into the overdrives, and then I'm going to go into my HX Stomp. Then I'm coming out of the effects loop stereo with that cable I told you, in all these pedals and back in. So it's really pretty simple. All right, so now I'm trying to decide how I'm going to use this patch bay right here, because I said I was going to go in the Bloom first, but I could just stick with my patch bay in the front. Like, instead of putting my guitar in there, I could put my guitar in here and run that input to the back of there, because this is just TRS through all of these. And then I would have 2 more that I could use to, like, if I weren't putting these in the effects loop, I could use them to like audition pedals, but I'm using the effects loop. So I don't know. I'll see what I do with that. Is there any benefit of me running an input over here? Well, one thing I do know is that I use my wireless guitar system all the time. So let me see if it even fits there. If I put this here, it's getting awfully close to my power. But it fits, and that's the closest one. Just because I have these doesn't mean I'm going to use them. Like I said, the only thing I would use them is to audition something, but I don't see how I would wire that up right now. And I have plenty of other ways to audition stuff. So, all right, so now it's time to start hooking up some patch cables. Again, RockStock, thank you for sending me these, for supporting this pedal board build. That was just great timing. I didn't reach out to them and say, hey, I'm doing a pedal board build. They said, hey, we would love to send you some patch cables that we're just releasing. And I'm like, heck yeah, I'm about to build a pedal board and I need 2 packs. Can you send 2? And they said, we would be delighted. So thank you so much. Comes in this nice case here. We have all the caps and then all the plugs. Comes this little cutter too. You just open it up, stick the wire in and chop it off. Basically all you do is push this in a good bit till it sticks in there, and then you slide the cap over and you put the screw in right in the hole and it holds everything. And then you put the screw in and tighten it down. And that's what the cable looks like. RockStock right on the back. Quick update, I've got port A going to the input, output going to here, that going to the Prestige out, going to the input of the HX Stomp. I have these 2 pedals to go here, and I could just do like little straight ones, but I don't want to. I want those cables to be long enough so that I can pop this off and move it and still have enough slack underneath. That's what I did before. I got it where it was just right, but then if I ever needed to move something, it was like so tight I couldn't do anything. All right, the next thing I am going to do is power it up, and I have the CIOKS DC7 and the CIOKS 4, which is an extension of this via this little red cable here. This comes out of the DC7, goes into the 4, and it gives you more. So I'll have 7 here and 4 here, that equals 11, but I actually have 10 because HX Stomp takes 2 of them. I got this IEC extender. So this will come out of my power supply, like so, and go into the Rockboard, boom, like so, and then I'll come out the front, like so. All right, the power supplies are mounted, and now I need to power the pedals. And so the first thing I wanna do is power the HX Stomp, because I feel like that's the most important one. I like it. Nice. This should power on. Things are happening. Look at that. Everything's on. Next thing you do is make sure we have sound. Now, I know y'all won't be able to hear this. Oh, that's serendipitous. I didn't plan for my headphones to really fit anywhere, but it happened to be right between those pedals.
One day later.
All right, quick update. It works. I finished out the day just playing. I didn't do anything else because I just was inspired to play this thing. Sounds really good, and I'm just very, very excited. But we're not done. I have got it all hooked up. It's all powered up. Signal flow is great. Everything works, but now it's MIDI time, and I have a few other things. So let's get into it. All right, let me show you my MIDI flow real quick because this is gonna be very important if you go to build a board similar to this. So I'm gonna try to make this the master and this the follower. I don't know exactly how I'm gonna do all that. I gotta do some research, so I might not be able to do all that in this video. But basically I'm gonna come out MIDI here, and then instead of going straight to the traffic control, which is gonna be under the board, I'm actually gonna go to the HX Stomp first. Now the reason I do this is because this is also a MIDI pedal and it has command center. And so instead of skipping this, I'm gonna have this feed into here, and then this feed into here, and then this will feed into all the MIDI pedals, because there may be times where I wanna send a quick MIDI message and maybe it's too hard to do it with this. I don't have a computer, or and maybe it's too hard, where this is super simple. It's got knobs and I can quickly call up a command via command center and send something on the fly. If I skip this first, then I wouldn't be able to do that. So here, 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 there. I got these MIDI cables here that you can actually take this back plate off and switch the direction if you need to, which is very convenient. And it looks like I need to do that for both of these right off the bat. Oh yeah, I have my cable tester. MIDI in and MIDI out. Huh, I'll be able to test these. Maybe I should test it now before I go to all this trouble. Thanks, Jimmy. Good thinking. I don't know what it's supposed to look like. Let me try another MIDI cable that I know works. See if we get the same. No, that one looks different. That one, it looks like this. Ring, tip, sleeve, which makes sense. And if you don't know, on MIDI cables, we're really only sending basically like a TRS cable. You're only sending the middle 3, the other 2 of the 5-pin are not used. So I might not be able to hook all this up exactly. I might need to order another MIDI cable. Boo! This one's not working either, it doesn't look like. All right, well, the MIDI cables aren't working, and today's the day I have to do this. So I'm gonna run to Guitar Center or Sam Ash, and hopefully they will have what we need. All right, like an old vlog, we're going places. This is reminiscent of like almost 4 years ago when I was doing my HX Stomp Mini pedal board. And it was also MIDI, but it wasn't a MIDI cable that I needed, it was patch cables. And I was like, I have that day to build the board before I go out of town. And this is so similar. I'm about to go out of town and I'm trying to finish this board now so I can post a video for you guys while I'm gone. And I don't have working cables. I ordered all the cables. Those little cables are so hard to find. I recommend them all the time, but they're usually sold out. I get 2 of them and they're both messed up. Boo. Let's go see if we can find some cables. So I just called my dad because I do that sort of thing, and it turns out it's just about lunchtime and he was about to go eat lunch and I'm in a hurry, but I gotta make time for my dad and I'm hungry. So let's go eat. It's too bright, I can't see anything anyway.
That's good, I like it that way.
Cat's in the cradle. Well, I was making a video about a pedal board and I need cables, so now it's a vlog video.
A vlog video.
And I was like, hey, I'm gonna go meet my dad for lunch. Let's do it. We'll see. All right, I just got back from Sam Ash and they have what I needed. You know what I should have done? I should have taken my cable tester into the store to make sure everything worked. I'm gonna test some cables right now before I even undo them. Oh yeah, that works. Okay, let me show you what these are. These are the Boss multi-directional MIDI cables. You can see right there, what's cool about it is they just slide. This little thing turns and you can slide it any way you want. See that? You can slide it this way or pull it straight and turn this little thing the other way until it lines up, and you can bend it this way. Anyways, I think that's gonna be awesome. Exactly what I need. All right, so I'm gonna go MIDI out here over to the HX Stomp. That's my first order of business. And then I need to come out of the HX Stomp and go into the jet traffic control under the board and then mount it. Do know that I have only straight jacks. That is something to consider. All right, so I have a couple options for leaving the HX Stomp and coming out the front of this Warwick thing here. And I bought these because I've used them once before, where it's TRS to keep it balanced. And then it goes to XLR, which fits in the back of this Warwick thing here. That way when I show up to church, I can just go straight XLR out because the HX Stomp is a balanced output, or it's either or. So I could also come out the back of the HX Stomp and go 1/4 inch and come out the BNC here out the front. All right, just a quick update. I just got everything MIDI controlled. So the Kernom is controlled via MIDI. On, off. It has like a MIDI capture where you turn the knobs where you want them and then you send a PC message and it'll capture that. And I named one Klon and Klon Plus. A hold for the secondary function will give me the Klon Plus. I did the same thing with like an OCD. So I got some more playing around to do, and I will continue to do that.
3 days later.
All right, it's time for some sound samples. I actually played this at church this past weekend, and let me explain to you how I had it set up and some things I want to change already. So the maiden voyage actually went really smoothly. There's only one thing I would change, and then there's more things I want to do. The one thing I would change is that on here, it's just set up on the Pirate MIDI for the first and second function to be press and then long press, but I think I can change that to press and double press, so that way I can get to those things quicker. The new XFX wireless guitar system worked great. Someone actually recently commented that this is the B5RC and now they have a C5RC, which is true. The only difference is this is a 2.4 gigahertz and the other one is a 5.8. I have both of them and they both work really well. It's just good to have both in case one of them starts to give you problems. You have another one. So I'm gonna do a completely new video on exactly how I run the MIDI with the Pirate MIDI stuff, do more of a tutorial and show you exactly how I wanna set it up, especially as I have more time and I know exactly what I want. But here's how I had it set up. Had the Klon, the Screamer, and an OCD and on and off. The Kernom Ridge does more of a snapshot MIDI thing where you set the knobs where you want them, you hold the on and off switch until it turns blue, like that. You send a message and it will capture it. So I did that to set up a Klon style overdrive, and then I sent another message with some mids pushed and some more gain, and captured it again on another preset. That way, clicking that on will be Klon. Holding this down will be Klon plus more. Same thing with a tube screamer sound and an OCD type sound. Now I ended up, when I played live, I ended up using the tube screamer the most. That's what sounded the best, but I'm still dialing things in. I also have my compressor on and off, and then EQ, which I have this set up to be kind of another tube screamery mid boost sound. And then if you hold this, there's the bloom, which gives you even more overdrive. And I had the JHS Prestige, which is another layer of overdrive. Plenty of overdrive on this board. As far as my wet section, I have everything kill dry here. It's actually not kill dry, I put the trails on, but if I wanted to shut everything off, I could do that here on the HX Stomp. The M1 I didn't use yet, but I have it set up just to turn on and off a chorus sound. I could turn on my Eternity and then hold this to switch between dotted eighth and quarter. And then with the rev, I can turn on the pedal, and what is live is what you have, which I had a big ambient tail. And then if I just click this, I could put it on the preset, and the preset was the same algorithm, just a lot less reverb. That way it would trail on and off if I wanted it to. And then all of these outboard effects really freed up space within the HX Stomp, freeing up DSP, so I can just run a few things. I'm running a matchstick amp with some dual IRs, my custom IRs found in the EXPANSE pack. And then I have the effects loop set up like this. I boosted the return +2 because I just feel like it needed it. I made sure that the trails are on. And then I also have my poly capo in case I wanted to play around with, you know, some deeper tones. I never get to use the poly capo stuff. Awesome. All right, so I'll play you some sounds. Make sure you like and subscribe for some future videos coming soon. I'm going to go in depth on some of these other pedals that I've barely scratched the surface on, so I'll see you in those videos. Bonus footage, check out the amount of reverb you can get with just this M1. All of that reverb is coming just from the M1. As far as I know, it doesn't have trails, but it's there. And then you can also add drive. So I just got rid of the reverb and added drive. That's just the M1. All that modulation is coming from the Eternity. Oh, and I have MIDI clock being sent from the HX Stomp